What is the dark night of the soul, you may ask? Or as the ancients referred to it, oscura noche. The term was first made famous by 16th century Roman Catholic priest St. John of the Cross. The mystic was incarcerated in a Spanish dungeon when describing the torrid dark night. It's the anguish a soul endures when it becomes separated from God, despite living a devout and ordered life. Feeling as though it's been abandoned, the soul grows weary with fear and uncertainty. Its faith is tested by the fires of purification and thrown head first into the abyss of the unknown. Here in the darkness is where the soul encounters its many enemies, spirits that menace the land of great strength, knowing no mercy, executing their rage against mankind. They are demons full of violence, endlessly on a path of destruction. Although the essence of the vampire legend has remained constant throughout human history, countless variations of the phenomena have spawned across the length of recorded civilization. What began as a demon of unknown origin in the ancient world has gradually adapted into its most recent form of the contagious and evil undead monster of popular culture. For example, in literature such as Bram Stoker's Dracula, there is this idea that the vampire occupies the upper echelons of the social hierarchy. The vampire is a wealthy aristocrat that sells a soul to the devil and becomes a creature of the night, condemned to prowl tirelessly in the cover of darkness, feeding off the blood of the living in order to grow stronger. The light becomes his mortal enemy. It exposes all the wicked deeds he commits in the night. Thus the vampire must avoid it at all costs, lest he cease to exist. A wooden stake driven through the heart is also sufficient enough to kill them, a concept that originated in Scotland when the bodies of those thought to be possessed by the demonic being were staked to the earth during burial, in order to prevent them from returning to haunt the locals by emerging from their graves as vampires. The use of defensive weapons such as crucifixes and holy water was a necessity in the homes of those who wished to ward off the malevolent beast. The nature of the cross frightens them in the terms of the hierarchy of sacrifice. It's the exact opposite of their nature. You see, that's why the vampire doesn't have a reflection. He's not who he appears to be. He masquerades as a false light, a figure that outwardly deceives to be a prestigious lineage, but in fact is just a parasite. He will seduce, but then will only feed. He will never produce, only consume, only take and take until he has acquired everything he needs for his purpose. In this way, the vampire manifests the sins of the wealthy elite. They tend to think that everything is permitted to them because of their status above others in the economic ladder. For that reason only, the laws of the world don't apply to them. Morality and traditional ethics apply only to the simpleton. The superior have no such limitations. Elite secret societies function in this way. Organizations that have been membered by presidents, senators, wealthy businessmen, individuals of great influence. Like the vampire, their actions are conducted in seclusion from the light, but yet they will claim themselves to be the light. This is because long ago, in the dark unwritten pages of time, seeds of the wicked one discovered how to control men, to control everything they listen to, everything they worship. Bloodlines who were selected since the foundation of the earth to bring forth a new world order, where the vampire reigns in eternal darkness. During the dark night of the soul, the individual must resist the temptation to abandon its course and flee to the artificial light, to cower in the face of its predator. The false light will promise illumination in the soul's distress, a safe haven for it to rest in the midst of the pain. In the end, however, it's death who awaits that soul. Like the moth navigating towards the sweet moonlight, only to mistake the flames of a lamp thereof.